Hey guys, I'm back. I've been listening to a lot of, stoner rock from the Vietnam War era. I kind of like that sort of music, Watchtower and Paint the Black, and, I see a green tank and I want to paint it black. I'm going to be doing that on the next tank because we always do a shadow coat. I'll sing it again for you maybe. So, I told you, I don't love the figures in tanks. I'm just starting on the... This is the videoing trick, I guess, is you put it in your hand. Little guy's pretty cool. He's actually coming out well so far. It's a flat green vest. I had him basically primered in OD green. His hair looks like crap, but he's got a helmet on him. They wanted me to use some green. I just don't have. The closest thing I could come up with is I have a glut of JDSDF colors that only came in tiny jars, so I ordered way too many of them. So I'm going to use the JGSDF dark green. It's pretty close. This should do it. The close camera thing, I tried it. It was okay. I didn't like the sound quality. I sounded like I had the camera in my damn mouth while I was talking. It was no good. We've made some good progress here on the tank. We've got the 50. She's cleared. Flat cleared now. She's all painted up. Ammo belt, to the best of my mediocre abilities, is painted. Got a little black panel line in there. Now we started doing the panel liner on the back. You can see the difference between this grate and this grate. And I started doing some general panel liner here and there and let it dry a bit and compare it to the other side. Okay. Real slow. You can see the difference. I know you can see the difference. The panel liner, it's just magic, man. It's just magic stuff. It makes everybody look like special, and it's so easy to apply. Oh, I also got all the stowage painted and glued down and flat cleared. We'll be doing a little, weathering on that stuff as well. Make it look a little used. So yes, I am going to put the driver in it. What else do we have going on here? I've got my my little power cord painted in rubber black and the little cap on there, and that's looking pretty fine. So I figured out the front gap thing. The holes in the chassis tub to screw the rear down are actually slotted a bit, so you just have to push it forward while you're tightening those screws up. And then the rear, there's still a bit of a gap. I did is I pressed these in as hard as I could and glued them with some crazy glue to the metal chassis tub, and that pulled them in better. They're still not perfect. Looks like some of my crazy glue didn't hold just here. So, I mean, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Okay. So, yeah, she's looking sweet. So, basically, and here we go. Here's another one. If anybody hasn't done panel liner, and I mean, my first time was with my Abrams tank, and I actually kind of made a pig's ear of it at first, because, again, stupid move on my part. Not only did I apply decals without first flat clearing the entire paint job, I went and applied panel liner, or started to. And I was like, why does this look like crap? Why is it soaking in all funny? Yeah, live and learn, guys. I mean, people make mistakes, and, I think I watched enough of Andy's videos to be dangerous when I started on the M1, but not enough of them to really have the full knowledge transfer. And you just dip it in the little holes, and it just spreads. So I guess I just sort of missed the part, or I was excited, or whatever, where I missed where he said, always clear your model after you paint the initial paint before doing anything else. Always clear it. Always. So if any noobs, like I was just a couple months ago, are watching this, yeah, flat clear your vehicle before you start applying anything to it, decals or otherwise. And, this is a slow slow slog of a process, getting this in every little nook and cranny just right. You know, oh, God forbid Tamiya gave us photo etch to cover all this. I was on my computer the other, every night, last night, and once again, I have a few of the pictures from the Shizuoka Hobby Show saved of the photo etch that comes with the static version of this guy. Oh, it's got the RPG fence in the front. I know Phillips head screws use it. In the picture at the Hobby Show, they have Phillips head screws holding the RPG fencing on the front of the static model. Maybe they were in a rush, or maybe they're just, I mean, no, we're not going to do that. Now we'll get little tiny, itty little bolts or something, or just solder it on there. Solder. I always hate how solder had an L in it. Solder. It's like so many words with L in it that you don't pronounce the L. It's like, if you don't like L that much, why'd you even put it in the word in the first place? Really? Why? Why do we have silent L's at all? I mean, oh, don't start. Okay, you know what? Obviously, you guys have figured out a lot of stuff in this world, I don't know, irritates me for odd reasons. I'm a quirky guy. I'm going to do a whole bunch of this. What else? Do we have anything else to go over? I'm going to listen to my Vietnam era rock station, and I'm going to go boogie doogie with all the panel liner on here. And after that, we're going to put some panel liner in the wheels. Oh, you know what? I'll just show one wheel. You know, the lighting sucks, right? I don't have a studio set up here. But yeah, I mean, it's just tip it into the innermost little edges. And if you get, there we go. We got a big glob, and it just spreads in there. That's what we need. And I mean, this stuff, it dries very flat. Don't worry at first if, you know, it looks like, oh my God, what am I doing? It's normal. I got a huge glob of it. Oh, there it goes. And it just drips in there. It's okay. You know, we're going to be doing all sorts of other weathering to these wheels, and mud and crud and you name it, and we'll be doing it. So yeah, that's about it. And you know, it's shiny now, but when it dries, it's going to look completely different. And if you have way too much, you can just blot a bit away, and that's perfectly fine. And see, you blot some off, let it dry. This looked all wet and shiny when I did it earlier, but now it looks fantastic. It's just a nice little, you know, it just gives you the little panel lines. I don't know what you want to call it. So yeah, and you know, little man, I don't know. I was thinking maybe painting some stubble on. I mean, who in Vietnam was clean shaven at all times? I've seen a lot of the movies, and very few people were. They're usually a little scraggly and, you know, worn out and strung out and tired, and the last thing you're doing is worrying about shaving. I mean, you're worrying about, do I have enough toilet paper, water, and malaria pills? The last thing you're concerned about is picking up a lady at the pharmacy. So, all right, we're going to get back to work, and I'll be back with more updates. Oh, panel liner. Listen, it makes everything look good. But doing panel liner like how you're supposed to do it, I guess, is the most tedious, boring thing in the universe. Now, if you haven't figured it out, I may have a touch of undiagnosed ADHD over here. So I get bored with it, and then I move along to other parts of the tank. I started building one of these little Verlinden resin M16s. So we started putting him together. Pretty tricky. I mean, there's no guide pins like Tamiya. There's no snap-togethers. My phallus on here is a bit crooked, but that's okay. I'm stuck to it. Son of a. All right, before I break it into little pieces. So yeah, I mean that's looking pretty cool. It's coming along. Got to cut out all the little flashing and prime it and paint it and lay it down right there for him to have handy in case he gets ambushed. He, speaking of which, is done. I got them all painted up. Got them all painted up there. Used a little panel liner on his arms and face and rubbed it off, and then, you know, a little here and there. And got the helmet painted and the little boom mic on there. So here's a real thing. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to get that machine gun in his hands as they come out of the box. I had to cut him off up to the second knuckle on his left hand, so that I would be able to, like, wiggle the gun and snap it into place. I mean, really, you don't really, it's so subtle, you wouldn't really notice unless you're looking for it. Now that I notice it all the time, but either way, this is my first tank with a completed little tank driver figure in it. I'm pretty proud of myself on that one. He's no Charlton Heston or whatnot, but he's looking pretty good. Hello. Get out of my way. I got a big gun. I'm gonna shoot you. Run. I don't know. But yeah, panel liner is coming along. I got the whole back of the tank on the upper deck done. I started working on the turret a little bit here and there. It's just slow. So slow, the panel lining process. Oh boy. Makes me wanna go Swiffer wet jet the tile floors upstairs where the dog hangs out, or something. Like, oh man. This is probably why a lot of modelers will start a kit and get it to a certain point and then just put it aside and start another kit. Because you really, you have to have mental resilience, especially on something this friggin' big, to do all the panel lining and then weathering and streaking grime and oil and dust and mud and all that. And my Abrams, oh, you want to see it? All right, you know what? You guys deserve a special little treat. It's Sunday, and we're just staring at the same old green tank for a while here. I'm grabbing it now. Hold on 1 second now. Oh boy. Oh, she's heavy. She's a big girl. Here's my Tamiya M1A1, as I call it, Seppish ghetto rigged. Now I went all out on this guy with oil stains and all sorts of stuff and stowage and more stowage. I pirated a bunch of parts off of a trumpeter, Abrams. Whatever parts were nicer on the trumpeter or the Tamiya didn't have, I took them and I put them on this guy. So, so this is why people start. Look at the size comparison. All right, let's have a little fun with this video. Since I'm not getting any real work accomplished right now, let's go ahead. Holy mother. Yeah, that's a tank. Because, well, as we all agree, this is not a tank. This is an armored fighting vehicle, or a little reconnaissance vehicle. She's a little bugger. Isn't she adorable? I mean, he's looking at the Abrams going, whoa, damn, I got into the wrong unit. I want to be in that thing. That looks a little more well protected. Huh. But, of course, he's not. So, what's the point of the story? Yeah, I mean, I'm like, panel liner? Really? It makes me want to go do anything else. Like, I'm like, maybe I'll just start building that Leopard 2A6 that I have waiting upstairs. Anything. Maybe I'll just take one of my old tanks and weather that. Anything, you know. So yeah, I didn't want to build the figure. I just didn't feel like doing it. Like, Mom, I don't want to brush my teeth. Mom, I don't want to build the tank commander. But I did it because it was at least something different than frickin' panel lining. Listen to me complain and moan. You know, here's a guy sitting in front of 2 beautiful Tamiya kits and crying his eyes out about panel liner. So there we go. Let's put this boy away for now. She's gonna have her own little review video and whatnot at some point in the near future, because people want to see it. But I mean, really see it. All right. Back to the proper subject of this video is this guy. So yeah, I mean, panel lining, it's the most unglamorous, thankless job ever, other than being on a help desk. That definitely rivals doing panel liner. I mean, doing it for a living, no one's yelling at you, no one's complaining, phone's not ringing, just you and a bottle of Tamiya's finest panel liner. I'm using black for this, by the way. I also have dark brown, but since this is such a dark vehicle already, I'm going with the black. Back to it. I'm demoralized, guys. I need your support. All 35 of you. I have 35 people following the videos or channel or whatever. So thanks for that, guys. It gives me some motivation to keep doing this. So I'm gonna get through this panel liner, and then the next part of this video is gonna be some actual real, like, proper weathering. All right, just wanted to vent for a little while because God, panel liner. All right, later. All right, guys. Well, according to the Tamiya manual, and you know, she's done. This is as per the manual, minus the panel liner, because they do not ask you to panel line anything. So my wheel panel lining is still drying. Everything on the body, ammo boxes, every little nook and cranny. That's what this is for. This is the nook and cranny filler. Got a little done on the gun. I could probably do a little on little man there. I did some on his arms and his face, actually, to give a little more depth to the skin tone, because all Tamiya has is flat flesh. And shame on you, Tamiya. I really wanted to branch out a little, and I was gonna do the tanker as an African American, because plenty of them fought in Vietnam. They're still Americans. They're normal people. Everybody's the same, whatever race you are. And the tanker's face is molded very, very, very Caucasian, as is most Army figures. I wanted to do them. I wanted to do them as a person of color. I have the Japanese tankers, and again, to me, it just gives you the same flat flesh color. I have a little guy for my Abrams that I'm going to put in, from Verlinden, U.S. tanker. I'm going to try with him. All you really see, I mean, you see noses and cheeks and arms. It's really the eye structure, and the jaw too. I don't know. Yeah, they need to branch out a little here, you know? Like, seriously, not every tanker looks... This guy looks just like... Actually, he looks a little like Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear. This guy looks a little like Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear. Maybe not. But either way, tank is done. Now, I have never done the grimes and things that I'm going to do on this, which is the slimy grime. That's desert. Slimy grime, is streaking grime. So this is enamel, this is acrylic. So the enamel will wipe the acrylic. So I think I got to do I got engine oil stains. What else do we have here? We've got brown splash mud. So I'm trying to make the same rain marks. I'm trying to get it close to how it might actually look if it was in... This is just a wash for green vehicles. I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. I have all this stuff. I have all these different things that I could finish it with. I'm not sure what the hell I'm doing. got some rust. We're not going to really need much of the rust on this guy. It's an aluminum everything for the most part on this. I don't know if the wheels are probably steel. I do a little rust on the wheels maybe. The exhaust pipe I'm going to rust up a good bit. I had another grime somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. Rain marks and... Oh, here it is. Slimy grime. Slimy grime and dark grime and all the other grimes. So what I did was I took my slimy grime, dark, and regular slimy grime, light. I hate when they cover the things with the price labels at Hobbytown. That's just annoying. Don't these things have... But these things already have barcodes on them. I mean, I don't know. They're just being lazy or something. I don't know. It's just more steps that they don't need to do there. I mean, if they just go beep and then scan it into their programming for their point-of-sale system, they type in $5.99, they type in the thing. They're already typing in all these things, and then they go and put a big sticker over our product. It's just annoying. They could save themselves probably a lot of time and money by just using the barcodes that come from the manufacturers. I don't know. Works for the supermarket, guys. Works for Home Depot. Works for the largest retailers in the world. Walmart. Hobbytown USA. I love my Hobbytown USA, by the way. I used to poke my nose up at these guys. I'm right under the camera again. I used to poke my nose up at these guys. That's not a real hobby shop. You want a mom and pop neighborhood hobby shop? Guess what? They're all pretty much gone. We had a couple in New York City. There was one in the Bronx, very close to where I lived. They were great. Shout out to Bruckner Hobbies and the Baffers. And then there was another one downtown Manhattan. There was a few in New Jersey, near where I used to live in Jersey. And you know what? This Hobbytown in Marietta, this thing is, or Kennesaw, whatever it is, this thing is massive. They have everything except Tamiya flat clear and Tamiya X28 thinner because of thank you California and your Proposition 65 labeling scheme to do whatever the hell you're doing to the rest of the country now. But like I said, I'm off track. I sprayed my hang-long bastardized Abrams up, and I threw some OD on there and some semi-gloss clear. Now I like this idea of the semi-gloss because like I said, desert storm, dusty vehicles, flat finish, great. World War II, I don't know. You know, it did rain in Europe, and there was a lot of mud, but Vietnam was definitely rainforesty type tropical conditions. So I'm gonna hit this thing with the semi-gloss. I like it. Yeah, it's gonna be have a little sheen to it. But then when we put all of our different washes and we spritz it with some mud, and that's going to calm down that semi-gloss quite a bit, and we should get a pretty good result. So after this stage here, we're going like, you know, Andy's Hobby Headquarters, Night Shift, all that. I'm going to put this fella aside and start experimenting on my little Frankenstein tank over there, the Henglong. Really, I'm glad. I was pissed I bought it, because then I'm like, oh my god, like a month later I noticed that Tamiya had an Abrams. I'm like, why did I do this? That was so dumb. Should have just got the Tamiya. No, Henglongs are fine. They're great toys. They're high quality toys. They're not quite hobby grade. A lot of people though are masters at this craft, and they make a Henglong look as good, if not better, than 90% of the Tamiyas out there. You know, you can do it. You just got to put a lot of work and a lot of money into parts. Upgrades, more upgrades. By the time you're done, the people that spent $200 on a Henglong have replaced the main circuit board, the transmissions, the motors, the DMD unit, half the mechanicals in the thing, the tracks, the road wheels, the sprockets, the this, the that, half the other things. They've added on a bunch. They've got the most expensive Henglong tanks in the universe, and it's still really, in a lot of ways, most of the time, no better than a Tamiya tank as far as operating. I have a Clark board in my Henglong 2A6, and an upgraded speaker, and a replacement smoker, and a replacement BB unit, and blah 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 blah. So many things. I don't know how many hundred. Whatever. A lot of money in there, and it still doesn't sound that good, and it still doesn't drive that good. It's just nowhere near. It's just not as good. I'm sorry. To me, it's just better. Period. In the full package, how it comes out of the box, there's no comparison. But I'm getting on my little high horse over here. I'm gonna put this down to finish drying somewhere secure. There we go. And we're gonna bring in our test tank here. And I know the paint job's not perfect. I just quickly, just did a quick little hit, just so I could have a green base to play with some of these slimes and grimes and different things, to see what kind of effects we can get. And that way we can figure out what we want to do with our Sheridan, okay? So I'm going to play around with this guy. If I have time, I'll start weathering the Sheridan. But yeah, if I don't have time, little Groot is at doggy daycare right now, and it's 4 o'clock. My alarm's going to go off at about 5:30 to go pick him up so that he can be home in time for his normal dinner. I know, I'm this dog's biatch, but I love him. He's a cute little thing. I was never a dog person. Well, I used to kind of wanted one. Always had cats because that's what we were allowed to have. I got this guy, he's a bundle of joy. And it's kind of like this father to say, I love my kids. You know why? Because mom wakes up every night at 3 a.m. to change a diaper, or in this case, clean up his poop or let him out to poop or pee. And then he won't go back to bed, and so she has to lay on the couch and sleep with him because you can't sleep in our bed because it's high enough up off the floor that if he falls out, he's going to break a leg or a hip or something. Wouldn't break his head. That thing's hard as a rock. But Dad wakes up and, oh, where's my little boy? Oh, we just get the good part. But I'm alone this weekend, so I'm doing both sides of that. It's interesting. So my app froze or the camera screen goes off. It's always something with this thing. Either way, we're gonna do some testing, and I might break into another episode. If I just switch weathering to episode 11, then so be it. This is the end of 10. If I feel like it's not going to run on too long, then we'll just get going and weather it on this episode. Now that I mention that, yeah, the amount of time to weather this Abrams, yeah, this is just going to be the end of episode 10, I guess. But the tank's done, guys. It's finished-ish. Nothing's ever finished. It's like the house. It's like, oh, we're finished. No, we're not. This is another project. Otherwise, other than weathering, the tank is done. It's done. It's working perfectly. It fits together as well as I can make it fit together. Everything looks awesome. I'm very happy with it. It's box level completed. So, all right, guys. Yeah, I'm signing off. It's too stressful making this episode any longer. But either way, cheers to everybody. Happy Sundays. And yeah, I'll definitely do an update video. But the tank is done, technically. Again, ish. All right. Adios, muchachos. I will see you on the next episode. Or you will see me on the next episode. I never see any of you guys. I don't know who anyone is or where they are. But that's cool. It's fine. Later, guys.